This video is Theme Communication Unit Mobile Beats, and in this video I'm going to show you how to access the Avery Education online applications to create your own music or ringtones. To start with, your teacher should be able to give you the web address that you need to go to access these applications. Once you have that address, open up your web browser, go to the address bar at the top and type in the web address. So my school's online Avery Education can be accessed at www.avery, which is A-V-I-A-R-Y, education, education.com/ and then my school, which is Dubai British School, /login. It's quite a long web address, so your teacher might be able to shorten that for you to make it easier to type in. But once you've accessed your school's Avery Education website, you'll need to enter your username and password. Again, your teacher should be able to give you these usernames and passwords. I'm going to enter in my username. Oops. And my password. And once I've entered those credentials, I'm then going to sign in. Now, once you've signed in, your screen will look different to mine because I've actually already set up my account and I've been using it for several months now. So when you log in, this area here will probably be blank because you haven't yet created any new projects, whereas I have. Down the right hand side here, your teacher should have set up already a project called Mobile Beats, which is the project you are doing. This will be really important later on because we submit any of the work that we do to one of these projects. So again, you probably won't have these projects down the right hand side, but you might have the Mobile Beats one as long as your teacher has set it up. Another important feature that we'll be using today is this new creation button here. If you scroll over that button, you'll see that Avery actually provides you with 4 applications to use. There's an application for creating images, an application for creating vectors, an application for editing audio, and an application for creating music, which is the one that we're going to use today. So scroll over to this Create Music button and click on it. Once you've clicked on it, it'll open up a new web browser window and it'll quickly, depending on your internet access, load up the Avery software for creating music, which looks like this. At this stage, you're prompted with this screen to choose what music instrument you would like to start with. Now, don't worry about thinking too much about the opening or starting instrument because you can actually change these later on. So what you really need to do right now is just choose one instrument that you'll definitely want to use in your music creation. Once you've chosen your instrument, so I'm just going to choose jazz drums to start with, you then need to press the open button. If you press this open sample button, what Avery will do is it will randomly choose a bunch of different instruments to put together, as well as a series of beats for those instruments. So it'll come standard with a sample project if you press this button. I'm not going to press this button, I'm going to press the open button. That will load in the instruments. It'll take a few seconds. It'll load in the instruments. You can see down here on the left hand side the jazz drums have loaded and we're now ready to use the software. To listen to each of these different styles of jazz drums, what I can do is just roll my mouse over to the play button, click on that. That's the sound that that jazz drum makes. So you can see, although they are all jazz drums, they're all different jazz drums. So just click on the play buttons and you can hear what they sound like. The next step that you need to go through to experiment with is playing with these little circles that appear here on your screen. Basically, these circles represent the beats that will be played in your audio. So for example, if I want to use this sound first, I would choose a circle there. And then I might want to play this sound, then this sound, then this sound, then this sound, then this sound, etc, etc. And then what you need to do is press the play button and you'll see a green line go across the top of the screen and every time that green line hits one of these beats, it will play that sound. You can see then it goes to the end, and then it plays it again. I'll just turn up the volume. So again, what I could do is I could put a mixture of these circles everywhere, like this, and then I could play it. And you can see that's how we're going to build up our tracks and how we're going to make our music. What I then might want to do is actually change these sounds. So initially we chose the jazz drums, but there's lots of different instruments we can choose from. So let's say I want to change the jazz drums. What I can do is click on the change sounds button up here, and I get a range of different instruments that I can now choose from. So for example, I might want to choose the, I don't know, let's scroll down and see if there's any hip hop. Here we go, the hip hop drums. So if I click on that, I get a range of different hip hop drums. Again, I can listen to them. So I might be happy with this snare, and I might want to use that instrument in my music. So all I would do is I would drag this snare over to one of these and replace it. So I would drag it here, and that would replace the original jazz drum if I let go. And now this is a hip hop drum and not a jazz drum. So I'll just replace a few more of these. And now I'll listen to what it sounds like. So you can see it sounds different because I've replaced the drums. Again, I might want to go back, and maybe I don't want some drums. Maybe I want a human beatbox. Okay, I can replace some of these jazz drums again, or I can replace some of my hip hop drums with some of these sounds instead. And obviously this will give me a different sound. So if I play again, you can see that it's very different. That concludes this first video, where I've introduced the instruments on the left hand side. I've introduced the different change of instruments on the right. These are our beats where we make our music. We've also got the play button. There's many other features as well, which I'll go through in other video tutorials. Okay.